I still remember the exact moment my parents said no to me. Not just a simple no, the kind of no that feels like a door slamming shut. And the worst part, they said it on their own anniversary, a day that was supposed to be about love, about family, about memories. Instead, it became the day I realized something painful. Maybe my parents didn't really understand me at all. But what happened later that night? One small gift, just one, and suddenly everything changed. Their faces, their voices, even the way they looked at me. But before I tell you what that gift was, you need to understand why they said no in the first place. Because honestly, I never thought my parents would react like that. My name is Emily Carter, and this happened 3 weeks ago. My parents were celebrating their 25th wedding anniversary, a big milestone, silver anniversary. They invited family, old friends, even neighbors we barely talked to. The house looked beautiful, fairy lights across the porch, flowers everywhere, my mom's favorite music playing softly in the background. Everyone was smiling, everyone except me, because I had been waiting all evening for the right moment, the moment to ask them something important, something that could change my entire life. But every time I walked toward them, someone interrupted. Emily, help me carry this. Emily, can you greet the guests? Emily, did you see your cousin? I kept waiting and waiting and waiting until finally dinner ended. People were laughing. My dad was telling one of his old embarrassing stories. The room was warm, comfortable. That's when I stood up. My heart was beating so fast. My hands were shaking. But I told myself, just say it. So I walked toward my parents. Mom, Dad, can I talk to you for a second? They smiled. Of course they did. Why wouldn't they? It was their special night. My mom gently touched my arm. Sweetheart, can it wait until tomorrow? But something inside me said no. This moment had to be now. So I said quietly, it's important. They exchanged a quick look. Then my dad nodded. All right. What is it? For a second, I couldn't speak. What if they got angry? What if they laughed? What if they said no? But I had already decided. I took a deep breath. I got accepted into a photography program in New York. Silence. Complete silence. No music. No laughter. Just 3 people standing in the middle of the living room. My mom blinked. My dad frowned slightly. So I continued. It's a really good program. Only 20 students get in each year. And I was one of them. Still nothing. I forced a small smile. I want to go. That's when my dad spoke. 2 words. Cold. Quick. No. Just like that. No discussion. No questions. Just no. At first I thought he was joking. Wait, what? My mom looked uncomfortable. Then she sighed softly. Emily, New York is very far. Far. That was the problem. I can handle it. I said quickly. But my dad shook his head. No. Again. This time even stronger. You're not moving across the country alone. My stomach dropped. But Dad, this is my dream. He folded his arms. You can study photography here. But this program is... I said no. The room suddenly felt smaller. My chest tightened. Why weren't they even listening? I looked at my mom, hoping she would help. She didn't. Instead, she said something that hurt even more. Sweetheart, sometimes dreams change. Dreams change? I felt something inside me crack. All those late nights practicing photography, all the competitions, all the effort. Did none of that matter? Guests were starting to notice the tension. My dad lowered his voice. Not tonight, Emily. But it was already too late. My eyes were burning. I whispered, "You didn't even ask about the program." My dad's jaw tightened because the answer is still no. And in that moment, something inside me decided something. If they wouldn't listen to my words, maybe they would listen to something else. So I wiped my eyes, forced a smile, and said quietly, "Okay." Then I walked away, back to the party, back to the music, back to the guests who had no idea what just happened. But inside my head, a plan was already forming, because earlier that week, I had prepared an anniversary gift for them. At first, it was just supposed to be sentimental, something sweet, something emotional. But now it was going to become something else, something that might change everything. The question was, would they even understand it, or would this gift break our family even more? Because when my parents finally opened that gift later that night, the entire room went silent, and my dad looked at me like he had just realized something shocking, something he never expected. But what exactly was inside that box? And why did it suddenly make my parents question the decision they had just made? If you think that moment changed everything, you're not ready for what happened next. So the party kept going. Music, laughter, glasses clinking. But inside my chest, everything felt heavy. I kept replaying my dad's words. I said no, just like that, like my dream didn't even deserve a conversation. I stood near the kitchen counter pretending to help my aunt cut cake, but my mind was somewhere else, because sitting upstairs inside my room was the anniversary gift I had prepared for them. A small wooden box, simple, nothing fancy, but inside it, something I had spent 3 months making, 3 months collecting memories, 3 months telling a story, their story, and now maybe my story too. An hour later, the moment finally came. My uncle clapped his hands loudly. "All right, everyone, give time." People gathered around the living room. My parents sat together on the couch. They looked happy again, relaxed, like the awkward moment earlier had never happened. But my stomach twisted because my gift was last. I walked upstairs slowly. Each step felt heavier. My hands were shaking again. What if this makes things worse? I grabbed the wooden box from my desk, ran my fingers over the lid, then whispered to myself, "Just trust it." When I came back downstairs, everyone was watching. My mom smiled warmly. "Oh, Emily, you didn't have to get us anything." I forced a small smile. I wanted to. My dad looked curious. I handed them the box. The room grew quiet. My mom opened it slowly. Inside were photographs, hundreds of them. But these weren't ordinary pictures. They were moments, old printed photos I had collected from albums, pictures of them when they were young, their wedding day, their first apartment, my mom pregnant with me, my dad holding me as a baby, birthday parties, family road trips, little moments, little pieces of their life. But there was something else too, something they didn't notice immediately, because between those old pictures, I had added new photographs, the ones I had taken, the ones that told a different story, pictures of my mom laughing while cooking, my dad fixing the old car in the garage, the way they look at each other when they think no one is watching. Real moments, unposed, honest. My mom's eyes slowly filled with tears. "Oh my God," she whispered. My dad kept turning the photos, one by one. The room was completely silent now. But then he noticed something. At the very bottom of the box, there was an envelope. He opened it. Inside was a single photograph. one I had taken secretly last month. It showed my parents sitting on the porch together, sunset behind them, my dad holding my mom's hand. Neither of them knew I took it. Below the photo, I had written something, just one sentence. My dad read it out loud, slowly, quietly. You taught me to see love in small moments. Photography taught me how to capture it. My dad stopped speaking. His eyes stayed on the photo. Then he turned the paper over, because there was one more line. The room felt frozen. He read it. Please let me follow the dream you unknowingly gave me. No one spoke, not for several seconds. Then my mom looked at me, her voice barely a whisper. You took these? I nodded. My heart was pounding again. I've been practicing for years. You just never noticed. My dad looked around the room, then back at the photos, then at me. His expression had changed. Not angry, not cold, just thoughtful, almost surprised. Finally, he asked quietly, Did you take all the new ones in here? Yes. He stared at them again. Then something unexpected happened. My uncle suddenly spoke. These are incredible. Someone else agreed. They look professional. My dad slowly exhaled, like something inside his mind was shifting. Then he looked at me, really looked at me, maybe for the first time that night. Emily, his voice was softer now. You see the world like this. I nodded again. That's why I want the program. The room waited. No one moved. No one spoke. My dad glanced at my mom. They exchanged a look, the same kind of look couples share when they understand something without words. My mom wiped a tear. Then she smiled gently. Mark, she got that from you. My dad frowned slightly. What do you mean? You're the one who taught her to notice things. My dad chuckled quietly, then looked back at the photo in his hand, the sunset porch picture. After a moment, he stood up, walked toward me, and placed the photo back inside the box. Then he said something I didn't expect. New York is a big city. My stomach dropped again. Was this another no? But then he continued, and if you go, you'll be very far away. I nodded slowly. Yes. He studied my face, like he was measuring something. Then, finally, he sighed, a long breath, and said the words I had been hoping to hear all night. But dreams like this don't come twice. The room went quiet again. Then he smiled a little. We'll figure it out. I blinked. Wait, does that mean? He nodded. Yes. My mom laughed softly through tears. Oh my God, she's really leaving. Everyone started clapping, but I barely heard it because my dad suddenly hugged me, tight, the kind of hug he rarely gives. And he whispered something in my ear. You didn't just give us an anniversary gift tonight. I pulled back. What do you mean? He smiled proudly. You reminded me what courage looks like. And honestly, that moment, that one moment, was worth every second of doubt. Because sometimes all it takes to change someone's mind is showing them the world through your eyes.